Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have therapy in 45 minutes, so let's see if I can get this video filmed. Anyway, hi everyone, happy October. I've got my pumpkin mug. I thought I had lost it. Turns out I just wasn't tall enough to see on the highest shelf in the cupboard, and I found the mug, so I'm feeling great about that. And probably should have given it a dust rinse before pouring my coffee in it, but hey, what can you do? Anyway, today's video, hold on, let me try this. Ooh, that was basically all foam. Today's video is basically gonna be just some books I'm excited about this fall. It would be kind of a formal October TBR, but we're over halfway done with October at this point. And some of these books I'll also be wanting to read in November. And also some of these books I'm not even sure I'm gonna fully get to because of how intense the last 2 months of any semester are, but especially this one. And so these are books that I'm just generally excited about in this fall season. We'll see if I can get to all of them. I've already started reading a few of them and they're really fun. And so I've got quite the stack. And I'm ready to just talk and just chat with you about some books, sipping some coffee out of a pumpkin's ass. And I'm just thrilled to be here with you. So cheers to us and happy October. Let's do this thing. So these first two books are book club picks with my book club that I run with Elias and Joel called the Late Night Book Club. And our October book pick is If We Were Villains. I have heard some incredible things about this book. And I've seen mostly great things, but I have seen 1 or 2 comments come through saying I hated that book. So it'll be an interesting time. I have very high hopes for it. So since this is the October book pick, we've decided that we're gonna shoot to have the live show on actual Halloween day, and the 3 of us are gonna dress up as a different villain. If we were villains, yes, and we're gonna dress up as villains. I was dabbling with the idea of reviving my Cruella costume. I was Cruella in kindergarten, so I was 5. That was 22 years ago, and I don't think that costume will fit anymore, but I was like, maybe I go as Cruella. And I think all of the rest of Earth will also be going as Cruella this year. So I'm probably not going to do Cruella, but you'll have to show up to the live show to see who I choose. I'm so excited to see who Elias and Joel go as, but I think it'll be a fun little Halloween live, and I hope you're all able to make it to this. But let's actually read the synopsis for the first time ever. Enter the players. There are 7 of us then, 7 bright young things with wide, precious futures ahead of us. Until that year, we saw no farther than the books in front of our faces. On the day Oliver Marks is released from jail, the man who put him there is waiting at the door. Detective Colborne wants to know the truth, and after 10 years, Oliver is finally ready to tell it. A decade ago, Oliver is one of the 7 young Shakespearean actors at Delature Classical Conservatory, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. In this secluded world of firelight and leather-bound books, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off. And in their 4th and final year, good-natured rivalries turn ugly, and an opening night, real violence invades the students' world of make-believe. In the morning, the 4th years find themselves facing their very own tragedy and their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police, each other, and themselves that they were innocent. Okay, that sounds so good. I had heard this book kind of explained. I think my cousin loves this book, and I think she gave me just like 2 quotes or like 2 bullet points about it, but I wasn't expecting quite that synopsis, and it sounds really intriguing, and I think it's going to be great. And so if you're able to make it to our live show on Halloween, I don't know if we're going to do it, I don't know what time we're doing it at, so you'd have to follow our Instagram or our Discord, but we will announce it over there. Halloween day, we're going to dress up as villains. It's going to be quite the time, and I hope to see you there. All right, next up we have November's book pick for the Late Night Book Club, and that is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I'm really, really excited about this one. I thought it was a new enough release where I wouldn't get recommendations for it very often, but I've seen quite a few where people have said, please read this book, it's so good, it's so adventurous, and it's eerie, and so I've seen people talking about this book, which is so exciting, and I wasn't expecting as many recommendations for it. I thought maybe it would kind of peak out once or twice, but I've seen quite a few. And so I'm really, really excited to get to this. Me, Elias, and Joel are super thrilled to be reading this book. We were really feeling a newer release. And so I think this came out last month. And so this will be our November book pick. Hopefully you're all able to pick it up. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be any dressing up for this one, but we are excited nonetheless. The synopsis says, 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. Sounds a little bit like a book I just read the synopsis of. 10 years after graduation, Jessica Miller has planned her triumphant return to Southern elite Duquette University, down to the envious whispers that are sure to follow in her wake. Everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see. Confident, beautiful, indifferent. Not the girl she was when she left campus. Back when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything. Wow! Including the tight bond linking the 6 friends she'd been closest to since freshman year. So, sounds like there's a murder to unravel. Unwrap, because of the ribbon. And I hope they don't cut any ties with each other. Right? Anyway, so really excited for this one and really excited for If We Were Villains in October. Both of these will be read this fall, rest assured. I cannot guarantee the rest of these books, but I can guarantee these. So I'm excited for both of these. All right, next we have a book that I've already started, and it is because so many of you recommended this in my bookshop with me video that I just posted. I had picked up a bunch of Grady Hendrix books, and I didn't even realize they were all by Grady Hendrix. I had seen Horror Store, I had seen Final Girl Support Group, I had seen My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I bought all 3 of those books, but I didn't think of them as the same author. I was just like, oh yeah, this is the cover that looks like IKEA, and this is the cover with the cool bloody chair, and this is the cover that looks like a VHS. But I did not realize they were all by Grady Hendrix. I think because I bought them in different sections of the stores that I was in. So anyway, when I showed all of them, I saw one comment that was like, so basically this is a Grady Hendrix haul, which I thought was really funny. But then so many of you reminded me, and I said this in the book shopping video, that I meant to pick up the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I meant to buy it for that book shopping haul because I was really excited about reading it. And then so many of you had said, oh my God, you should have gotten it. Please go get a copy. And so I did, and I'm already halfway through it, and it is just quite the adventurous, horror-filled ride. I am really loving this one. Out of all of the Grady Hendrix that I bought, everyone seems to love this one the most. Well, not everyone, but most of the comments I saw said that this was their favorite by Hendrix. So, and so far I understand why. I genuinely laughed out loud so many times to this book. I think it's hilarious, but then he does such a good job at pairing it with true gruesome horror descriptions. Like, I don't know how he's able to do it. Like, one chapter you're laughing at the main characters, and then all of a sudden you're like shaking off how gross the last scene you just read was. So I think he is doing an excellent job. It's also really cool because I'm in a vampire tradition class this semester. I'm a TA this semester for that class where we talk about the vampire tradition and how it was kind of born out of the Gothic genre. And so many of the things that we've learned about in class are talked about in this book. Like, the main character literally goes to pick Dracula up off the shelf to prove if there's a vampire in her town. I just think that's so cool. But also, like, the mythology and the folklore aspects of the vampire tradition come out in this book. And I just think it's so fun, and it's just so cool reading this while also having like a class that has something to do with it right now. And so to anyone that recommended I pick this up, I'm so glad I have. I'm halfway through. I hope to finish it maybe this weekend, and then I'll be able to talk about it in my wrap up, but I think it's excellent and I'm just having a great time with it. So thank you to everyone that recommended it. Okay, sorry if you've shifted. My memory card was running out of space, so I had to move the camera. Anyway, all right, this next book is a book that so many of you recommended to me in my September wrap-up. In my September wrap-up, I was like, hey, I'm going on like a book shopping trip. Please like recommend any fall or October themed books. And I got so many comments to pick up Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I already owned this, which is why this was not featured in the book shopping video. I picked this up last fall and I fully intended to read it, and then I didn't. And then I thought, well, it would be a crime to read it in the spring. So I'm just gonna wait until next fall. And so I have it now. I already have an audiobook for it, I believe, on Libby. I hear, let me read the back. For those who still dream and remember, for those yet to experience the hypnotic power of its dark poetry, step inside. The show is about to begin. Cougar and Dark's Pandemonium Shadow Show has come to Greentown, Illinois to destroy every life touched by its strange and sinister mystery. What? The carnival rolls in sometimes after midnight, ushering in Halloween a week early. Holy shit. A calliope shrill siren song beckons to all with a seductive promise of dreams and youth regained. Two boys will discover the secret of its smoke, mazes, and mirrors. Two friends who will soon know all too well the heavy cost of wishes and the stuff of nightmares. Holy shit. I kind of thought it was just like, oh, I'm like in this like fall neighborhood and it's all sweet. I didn't realize that there were like sinister elements or like creepy elements. I kind of could assume there was a circus element to it because of this cover, but I didn't know a whole lot about it. And so that sounds amazing. I'm going to put it right on my couch because it's the next book I'm going to pick up. Okay. It's not going back in the TBR pile. It's getting read immediately. So that sounds amazing. I feel like I'm missing out now. I'm like, Noelle, stop this video, stop recording. Let's go read Something Wicked This Way Comes. So anyway, that sounds amazing. And I'm hoping to read that by the end of October, because if it misses October and it misses the Halloween season, I'll feel like I'm doing the book a disservice. So I will try my darndest to read it in time. All right, next up, we have a book that if you've read it, please, and you liked it, please hype it up, because I'm currently on page 45 and it's brilliantly written, but I'm having a hard time actually keeping up with it because of how long it is and how detailed it is. And that is The Once and Future Witches. This seems to follow three sisters as they're living in the 1910s or 1920s. Am I right or wrong? 1893. Wrong on both accounts. It says, in 1893, there's no such thing as witches. There used to be in the wild dark days before the burnings began, and now witching is nothing but tidy charms and nursery rhymes. If the modern woman wants any measure of power, she must find it in the ballot box. But when the Eastwood sister, James Juniper, Agnes Amaranth, and Beatrice Belladonna join the suffragists of New Salem, they begin to pursue the forgotten words and ways that might turn the women's movement into the witches movement. So, like, the synopsis is awesome, and I'm really connected to one of the sisters already. I really, really like Juniper, the youngest one. I really like her. I think she's really fun, and just really angry for all the right reasons. And so I'm enjoying it. It's just so long. And if you've read it, please hype it up so that I push through and, actually read the full thing. Because, I don't know, I just felt like every time a chapter ended, I was almost like relieved. I was like, ugh. And it's not because it's not good. I was just like, this is long and this is detailed. So, yeah, I have an audiobook for it and the audiobook's really good. So maybe I just keep pushing through. But if you've read it, let me know how you liked it. All right, this next book is a book I'm really excited about, but I just want to apologize in advance. There is a huge Target 20% off sticker on it, and so it's really going to bother some of you, and that is Paybacks a Witch. Isn't that the truth? Basically, I read The X-Hex and this month, and I'll talk about it more in my wrap-up, but I really liked it. It was like Halloween meets romance, and it was like everything I needed. And so I was like, ooh, are there any other Halloween romances? And this one came up for me on Google. And so I hope it actually takes place during Halloween. Okay, I just tried to read this whole synopsis, and not only was I, one, tripping over my words on every other word, but two, it's just a long-ass synopsis. So from what I can tell, our main character's name is Emmy, and she used to date this guy named Gareth, but he has like broken her heart and abandoned her. And then there's a spell casting tournament that she has to go to, and like a bunch of other witches are at. And she meets Talia and Lyndon, who were both dating Gareth at the same time. And so we've got like 3 girls who are heartbroken over Gareth, and they want revenge. I'm getting like witches and John Tucker Must Die vibes. So, I don't know. It doesn't really sound like it's going to be a romance, but then at the top it says it's a sizzling rom-com. So there has to be romance, right? I guess we'll find out in this month's wrap-up. Okay. All right, friends, we have 3 books left, and this next one is My Heart is a Chainsaw. The cover is awesome. The basic synopsis, as I understand it, is awesome, which is that there's this woman who is obsessed with 80s slasher films, and so she like studies them and knows them really well, and then she's like caught up in her own slasher film, basically. Like she's gonna get slashed unless she uses her slasher knowledge. And so that sounds awesome. I think it sounds super cool. I think the cover is striking. I love that it's like zzz, a chainsaw through the front. That's how a chainsaw sounds. Sorry. Sorry if that scared you. Zzz, true chainsaw noises here only. Anyway, did that make sense? I don't think so. Anyway, I was really excited for this book. I thought it sounded amazing. And then I haven't heard such great things about it. All I've really heard about it is that it's boring. That's at least the impression that I'm getting. Maybe I haven't watched enough reviews on it or read enough reviews on it, but people go into this book thinking, ooh, 80s slasher, but like real life. Or not real life, fiction version, and then it ends up falling flat. So, I mean, that's disappointing. I still want to give it a read, but I do hear that it's just generally pretty boring and that the writing is a little weird. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'd love to read it this fall, whether that's this month or November, but I would love to read it and let you all know. Although I also have heard that it's good from other people. So, you know what? I'll read it and report back, and if you've read it, let me know what you thought, without any spoilers. Give me some star ratings on this one, if you've read it. All right, the next book on this list is actually a book my mom got me, so thank you, Mom. And that is The Manningtree Witches. I mean, just look at that cover. It's like kind of old school comic book, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Maybe like magazine cover. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to read you the little like block quote up top instead of the whole synopsis, but it says, a beguiling debut novel that brilliantly brings to life the residents of a small English town in the grip of the 17th century witch trials and the young woman tasked with saving them all from themselves. Yeah, I think it's that there's some witch stuff going on, and then it's about the witch trials kind of fighting back and trying to regain some semblance of control and power. So I thought it looked really cool. I think the cover's awesome, and I'm really excited to read this. Either October or November, I think either month would be okay, whereas some of these books feel more October-y to me. This one, I think, is just a fall read for sure, so hopefully I get to it, and hopefully it's fantastic. All right, and then this last book needs really no explanation, but I'm sure I'll find a way. And that is knockemstiff. I think I put this in a book haul a few months ago, so sorry if I'm just repeating everything I'm about to say. But basically, this is the prequel to The Devil All the Time, and I read The Devil All the Time last October, and it was incredible. I really liked the book, but I especially liked reading it during October, and then I watched the movie right after, and I thought it was a fun little experience of like reading so that I could watch, and everyone was talking about the movie at the time, so it was like a fun kind of complete circle of narrative. Anyway, it looks like it's talking about different characters that just, oh my god, this is okay. This is gonna be a lot. You know what? The Devil All the Time was creepy and gross, and I think this one will be as well. So I'd love to read this in the fall. Anyway, there we have it, my friends. That is the video, which I think I'm titling Books I'm Excited About This Fall. And if I'm able to get to all of these, awesome. I accomplished something. If not, hell, I'm in grad school. So I guess we're just gonna give it a good old college try and see how far we can get or how many of these we can read. Regardless, I think all of them sound really fun, and they all give me very much the kind of spooky October feelings, and that's exactly what I've wanted. All we've watched recently are horror movies, and basically just new ones to me. We haven't really been rewatching a lot of movies in the horror sphere. So if you'd like to also see kind of an October wrap up of movies I watched this month, I'd be happy to, I might be able to gush about a few of them, but there are some that I just genuinely dislike. So anyway, that is the video, my friends. I hope you had fun. Let me know what books you want to read this fall and what books you've read that I talked about in this video and what you thought of them and what you're excited about, just in fall in general. I don't know. Let's just chat. Anyway, that's it, my friends. That's the video. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!